Night of the Headless Horseman is the first 3D computer animated special on a ghost story. A ghost story has never been done in this medium. My name's Jay Gillian, executive producer of Night of the Headless Horseman. We're here in Dallas, Texas, where Night of the Headless Horseman was produced. Night of the Headless Horseman was produced in about a 5-month period. We had to recruit about 12 animators, 3 of which came from Canada.
We love Dallas. Sunny skies.
Our animators were working virtually 98 hours to 100 hours a week. This team pulled together in ways that I never would have dreamed. Computed Animated Technologies, CAT, is the company that we worked with in making this thing happen.
Quiet! CAT is a large, high-end 3D animation studios. My senior animator at the time arrived, Shane Williams, came in my office one day and he said, "What do you think of the idea of Sleepy Hollow?"
It had always been a favorite story of mine since I was a little kid.
And I said, "That's a neat idea. That sounds really cool."
A lot of people don't realize, but the Legends of Sleepy Hollow is a true story. The only thing that can't be proven is whether the ghost actually exists, but of course his grave does exist. They have verified his body is buried in a certain area in the Old Dutch Cemetery in Sleepy Hollow.
The script, which was written by John Shirley, also the writer of Crow, he wrote something that expresses the story in a way that Washington Irving was going for.
We talked a little bit more in detail about the origin of the Headless Horseman and how he became the Headless Horseman.
And along with the coming storm comes the murder and fury of the Hessian trooper.
You don't see that in any of the other versions of Legends of Sleepy Hollow. Seeing things like that really inspired us, and it was like, wow, that's really cool. That's what we're going for.
One of the first processes was the drawings created by Dory. It's sort of the step of really seeing it come to life. And Dory is our artist, our creative director. She essentially creates the look of the sets. She creates the looks of the characters.
I draw pictures for a living. It's more or less like a blueprint of what is going to be shot. I visualize what the writer has visualized. As opposed to live action, for animation, I have to put on paper what I see happening, or it's not going to happen. For instance, going into the inn for the first time, I didn't want it to look like a still shot, a photograph, and just moving in on it. So I got to visualize leaves blowing, and limbs moving, and the shutters moving back and forth in the breeze. It's already spooky when those things are happening. It's mood, it's mood, it's mood, it's mood.
The next step was find the voices for it.
Tia Carrera played the voice of Katrina Van Tussle.
It's you who should blush, stealing my mother's roses. For shame, Brom Bones.
And Katrina's 17, 18-year-old character, and Tia just blew us away with her performance. It really worked out very well.
Oh, why not winter in the year 1840? 21 years from now. Ah! Brom Bones!
Bosh, some old sheepherder's song.
Luke Perry, he's real excited about working on the project.
But the fact that it was 3D really, truly appealed to him.
Ah, no, but are they not nearly our roses too, Katrina? But are they not nearly our roses too, Katrina?
I mean, he is. Brom Bones.
Or to be well prepared, perhaps the coming summer or the fall.
Bingo.
William H. Macy was chosen as the voice for Ichabod Crane.
Now then, Amazing Grace. Is that delicious scent? Ham! That's ham! A baking ham! From the house. I mean, is it not?
He did a splendid job. He brought a really unique touch to the shyness of Ichabod Crane.
On the contrary, dear fellow, I adore such tales. I'll cut all this out.
Mark Hamill, we were so surprised when he was picked. Obviously, he played the great part of Luke Skywalker in the Star Wars series. He plays the very crickety old man, Van Ripper.
Being the new schoolmaster, I reckon you figure Sleepy Hollow's tales of strange, ghostly doings to be foolishness.
Clancy Brown.
I tell you truly, young Mr. Irving, it was here.
He played the voice of the Headless Horseman and the Tellteller.
Bill Faberbeck, the tall, blonde-headed guy on Coach, also plays Brahms' sidekick.
But if I've offended you, I will go away.
He did a splendid job as well. The next step is for us to motion capture the characters. This is where an actor wears essentially a lycra suit with reflective points attached to the elbows, the arms, the shoulders, and the actor walks through an array of infrared cameras which capture the motion of the actor. So all the fluidity of the human becomes a part of the animation.
I'm Crispin Broadhurst. I'm a motion capture specialist. And I had to build all the skeletons inside all those skins. You can capture the subtleties of movement of a person or anything. You put the markers on. You can capture things that would be near impossible or would take forever to hand animate. It was just so wonderful to see the horse rearing up and galloping and just all the muscles flexing, all that translated, into the computer. There's three parts to the motion capture for an entire character. We have to motion capture the body, which is with large markers like this on the different joints of the body and 4 around the head. Then we have to do facial motion capture as a separate pass, which is with very tiny markers, which are glued all over the face. Then we also did hands in this case. Same thing with little tiny markers glued on the joints of the hand.
What it takes to do motion capture is somewhat of a pantomime artist, because they're not essentially delivering you the dialogue, and essentially they're just delivering you the motions of the character.
I hope Mr. Crane likes boiled corn with his chicken.
It's food, isn't it? He'll like it.
I hope Mr. Crane likes boiled corn with his chicken.
It's food, isn't it? He'll like it.
We put it all together in a program called Filmbox.
Ichabod Crane!
We have the motion capture data, which is just a bunch of dots floating around. Then we're able to take all those dots, connect them to Ichabod's skeleton. There's Ichabod's body and his skeleton inside. The blue dots are driving or controlling the joints in Ichabod's skeleton.
Ichabod Crane!
Then we need to get the face moving like that, which those all represent dots that were actually glued to a person's face. Now they're controlling all these individual bones in the face, so if we hit the play button, you can see they move the face around.
Ichabod Crane! I said!
And so then we can show the skin of Ichabod, and you can see what it's actually doing. So there's Ichabod's skin. You can see the bones are sticking through his face to control the mesh. This is a low-resolution model, once again, just so it animates very quickly.
See here, what do you mean by prying at my window in that fashion?
All the Lightwave layout guys with all their scenes are able now to take the characters that I've given them back with all the motion on them, and put them, you know, in all their rooms and scenes, and put all the lighting on them and add hair and set it up so it looks like a movie.
We went to extremes of actually taking actors and even some of our animators and digitally scanning their faces and mapping them onto the characters so they had real skin textures, real pores, real skin blemishes, things like that. When we went to Sleepy Hollow, New York, we shot all these historical homes, so a lot of things you'll see are, you know, they're real. We actually shot bricks textures, carpet textures, wood textures, things like that we can map onto this to make it as authentic and as cool as possible. We spent most of our time doing that process, which is, I mean, creating a complete world. We can completely do bizarre, very interesting camera angles. There's every camera angle that you could do in real life, plus the ones you can't do in real life. I mean, I can fly a camera up your nose and out your mouth. And then we light them. If we wanted to put a light inside of a person and turn their surface to a kind of a translucent surface, we could stick a flashlight inside the person's chest and light their body up. Dealing with texture issues, lighting issues, the overall look and feel of a scene and the type of spookiness that we were trying to go for, those types of things is what I spent most of my time doing. And then once that's all done, it's ready for the render stage.
All the elements of all the hard work come together.
The mad scientist is what they kind of called me. My name is Steve Johnson. I'm the chief technical engineer.
It's all thrown into what's called a render farm.
A typical scene was 200 to 400 meg of storage just to bring the scene into computer to render it out one frame.
Basically do 30 frames for every second, and each frame would take anywhere from, say, 2.5 minutes to 15 minutes to render.
99% of the machines were running 24 hours. We couldn't afford to lose any machines at any time. We used some of the fastest computers available in the world, the DEC Alpha processors. The frames were so huge that there's no way that we could have done this with year or 2-year-old technology. You know, this was just a massive undertaking.
When I chose a composer, I wanted to choose someone that would approach it more as a symphony writer would, as opposed to someone that writes sound scores. So I chose Simon Sargon.
I spent a lot of time kind of immersing myself in the feel of the town and the period.
Sound is so ultimately important.
I searched for that opening motive for a long time and listened to a lot of horror films and background scores, and seeking this elusive Gothic sound quality, you know. I was really nervous because I wanted to run it by Jay before I went any further. And he came over to the house and I played it for him, and he just went wild. He said, "That's exactly what I want, go for it."
I said Ichabod Crane. Is that you?
The end result is a true passion for what you do.
I'm very, very proud of the team and you know, what they were able to accomplish.
You are too kind, sir.
Certainly this will be the mark that a lot of future animation films will be going for. We are looking forward to Night of the Headless Horseman, continuing to bring the scares and the laughs and certainly the entertainment for many years to come.